by FanDuel Sportsbook. Kevin Durant getting ready to go. Spent 3 years playing with James Harden in Oklahoma City. Those two will be reunited for the first time since 2012 tonight. And are they in the starting lineup together? Oh, you bet they are. The starters, Durant and Harden, joined by Joe Harris, DeAndre Jordan, and Jeff Green. As Michael Grady just told us, Kyrie Irving still not back. Could be back Monday, depending on how he ramps back up to basketball activities. But, Richard, what do you think about this Nets starting five and the way it looks tonight with Harden and Durant both in there?
Honestly, that looks like a lot of firepower to me. I'm actually really, really excited. You know, everybody's worried about fit. Well, the only way to make things fit is to spend time working on it, getting to know each other, playing in a new system. Obviously, there's familiarity when you have D'Antoni on this staff, and Steve Nash is very familiar. So there's a lot of relationships. Everyone's worried about the fit, but James Harden had his best years with D'Antoni. Steve Nash obviously won an MVP with him as a coach also. So to have him on the sideline next to Steve Nash is huge. And I think it's going to be really, really big and really, really key as how quickly this group can really start to blend.
Now, the Nets officially introduced James Harden yesterday, but it was actually just a little while ago when the deal became officially official with a little tweak. Became a 4-team trade. There was a little hiccup reportedly with Karis LeVert's physical, and so the Pacers ended up getting an additional second-round pick as well as some cash to complete this deal officially in time for James Harden to play tonight for the Brooklyn Nets. The man who orchestrated it all for Brooklyn and has brought them Durant, Irving, and Harden, Sean Marks, sat down one-on-one with our Michael Grady.
All right, Sean, first things first. Is it now championship or bust in Brooklyn?
The jersey is hanging. The kicks are ready.
Great question.
The Brooklyn
I think we're going to own it. We're going to own the fact that we've built this team
Harden,
to go as far as we possibly can. We want to be the last team standing. That's
reunited with Kevin Durant. For the first
my guess
time.
is there's 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that all have those same realistic expectations as well. And we're obviously trying to continue to build this roster, build this organization up to have sustainable success. So, that's certainly the goal.
Take us back. Do you remember when you had your very first conversation with the Rockets about James Harden?
We're always checking in. My role and our front office's role is to always get the temperature of the league. So we're constantly checking in with a variety of different teams. I think on the James Harden front, we might have had a conversation maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Really was nothing to it, and I think this is where it really sped up over the last sort of 48 hours. Prior to the trade, when conversations were happening, very frequently.
With conversations that you're having with, personnel, players, also what you were seeing out there on the floor, why did you feel the timing was right now to make this move?
They're difficult decisions, and I'm not going to shy away from it. When you have to move the players that we did, and a huge thank you to Jared and Karis and Torian and Rhodey for all that they've done, for their time with the Nets, and they will be sorely missed without a doubt. So you have to weigh, everything that those guys brought, the fiber that they were a part of, and the fingerprints of this organization that they've all put all over here. And then also you're saying, well, we have the opportunity here to add a franchise level talent in James Harden, who wants to be here, who wants to be part of this, who already has a pre-existing, relationship, with one of our star players. So, it's those are things, just to be quite frank, we couldn't shy away from it. And again, they met our organizational goals of where we want to be, over the next few years.
Sean, you came to Brooklyn without any draft picks to work with and built the franchise to where it is right now. How much trepidation was there on giving away so many picks in this deal?
Yeah, absolutely. We certainly think about that. We're weighing, the cost of doing business. At the end of the day, I think I have utmost faith in our scouting department, our front office, who has shown in the past, the resilience and fortitude to go out and find players, to develop players, and so forth. And we're going to have to do this again. And regardless of whether we had made this trade or not, that's always the goals of this organization is to go out there and find players that fit with your timeline and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish, and then help develop them and stuff. So it's an incredible opportunity that we have again ahead of us. It's not as if we don't have the picks. When we first came in here, there just flat out weren't any. Whereas, now we have them. Just, they're tied up in swaps and so forth. But there's a variety of different ways we can continue to build this and continue to put out, hopefully something that's sustainable for a long time.
James has said he wants to win. His breakup with the Rockets was publicized and even criticized. In your conversations with James, how confident do you feel in immediate buy-in and his fit with the other superstars and the players on this roster?
Yeah, I think, the conversation I had with James yesterday a couple times revolved around him wanting to win, him wanting to be part of something. All he cares about was winning. And I don't want to speak for him. I'll let him address this in his own time when he does his media. But, that stood out to me. He wasn't coming in here looking for something other than, I've done everything else. I just want to win. I just want to win. And, having that pre-existing relationship with Kevin, it certainly helps. Those guys know each other. They can talk freely amongst each other, hold each other accountable, and continue to help and push this team in the right direction.
I'm curious for you, when all parties finally agreed upon the deal, the Rockets say yes, you say yes, what was your immediate feeling?
I can't wait to see it on the court. I think that's what when you see something on paper and you've imagined, you've dreamed, you've thought, you've sort of prognosticated on what it might look like, or what if we didn't do this? What if we did do this? I can't wait to see the group on the court and watch them continue to build, continue to grow, communicate, and just see where that group, of 17 guys. I mean, we're going to have 17 guys here by the end of this, where they can take this franchise to.
And I know these guys will eventually speak for themselves, but Coach Nash, Kevin, other players on the roster, what were you able to pull from them in terms of their reaction and where this franchise is moving now with James?
Yeah, guys are thrilled. To be quite frank, I think this even solidifies more of what our expectations are, and what the goals are, what the organization's goals here. There should be no shying away from the fact that we're going for it. And to be quite frank, that starts with Joe Tsai, who has been nothing but supportive in every form and fashion of how we're trying to build this. That's great to see his conviction to winning, his conviction to doing something, that's, never been done in Brooklyn before. So, I know he's excited about, getting fans back in this building in Barclays and so forth. And so are we. And to be quite frank, the borough deserves it,
Sean, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Michael.
Well, Sean Marks, we've heard.